grow. Yeah, yeah. California grown.
Welcome to another edition of the Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts.
Radio version.
That would be Chuck Smith, the incredible, soon-to-be, we'll touch on that, former editor of the Appeal Democrat. And we have a mystery guest today. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce him. His name is Scott Anderson, and he's going to be the new editor.
He is.
Of the Appeal Democrat. Finally, an upgrade. And, of course, Kurt Baird on the board, John Cassidy here, Linda Plummer making sure that no one gets in a fist fight in the studio today. Thank you, Linda, as always. Scott, welcome to Yuba-Sutter, man.
Thank you.
And this is the first time we've met. Mm-hmm. And I know they grilled you over there to hire you. I know it was a long and tough journey, but you made it through. Congratulations.
I'm here.
Tell everybody in Yuba-Sutter about your background. I'm curious.
Yeah, been a journalist for, it'll be 20 years in July. Been based in Northern California the whole time. And I've done some national projects. I've done field work, I think, in 13 different states, but I've always been based in Northern California. Worked in counties all over the region, except the three right here that I just took this job. So now
Yuba-Sutter and Colusa. Yes,
Yuba-Sutter and Colusa are three counties I haven't done much work in before. So I'm really excited about being here.
He had to check it out. He just like he'd driven through and
drove through a bunch of times on my way up north.
So where was your last assignment?
My last assignment, I was running the Sacramento News and Review, which covered Sacramento County, Yolo County, Placer County, El Dorado County, and Nevada County. Yep. And also San Joaquin as far as it is in the Delta, same with Contra Costa and Solano. Okay. So that was my last beat, and I was there almost 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Mm-hmm. Wow. And I'm very familiar, having gone to Butte Junior College when I started my college journey, with Chico News and Review, because it all kind of started from there, didn't it?
Yeah, and I was also the editor of Chico News and Review too the last 4 years, so I was running both.
Yeah. It's kind of how the business is going. So.
Yeah, and so I was coming through here all the time to do various things in Chico, in Butte County, and Tehama County.
So do you think you may have stopped at our sponsor, The Brick, once and got a cup of coffee?
I've been there every morning since I got this job.
You've been there every morning since you got
this job?
Kimberly, listen to that. I'm coming for breakfast today, in fact.
That's where you meet people.
That's exactly.
I mean, people show up there early in the morning for their morning meetings. There's a lot of local government agencies that have their committee meetings there.
I'm a really early riser, and I love the fact that they're open early. So
you should also check out at some point then Duke's Diner and Oliver's, which opens at 5:30.
Yes, that's the early bird spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And her morning chili's pretty.
And Duke's is sort of the city hall of Oliver's.
Okay.
Mary Jane Griego, whose family's run it for 50 years, is
only 50 years.
Yeah. Well, she was the county supervisor for I think 12 years. She's on the the Central Valley Flood Protection Agency, the state agency. But she's also, if there's anything going on in South Yuba County, she's very well aware. So, hey, Mary Jane, this is Scott Anderson.
Looking forward to meeting you.
I think he likes poached eggs like I do. Make those poached. She hates making poached eggs.
I love going in there and ordering poached eggs. So, Scott, tell us about what do you see in Yuba-Sutter so far? What has stood out to you?
It's growing. We just had a story in this morning's paper about the new economic report for the Sutter-Yuba area, which is very, very positive.
Oh, yeah.
And the report notes some areas that could make the growth even more smooth, but it was overall a very good report for a region. Yeah. A GDP $8 billion. So that's it's
nice
a place
number.
that's
Take it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's an area obviously that's got a lot of history and a lot of really great community, but it's also growing and it has new dynamics from the growth. So I think that's an interesting place to be journalistically.
Well, and Chuck grew up here. I moved here in 1985. Linda, when did you move here?
Oh my God, 100 million years ago.
100 million years ago. And then, yes. And there's been a lot of economic dynamics that have occurred here over the last 5 to 7 years in particular that are really game changers for the region. And then you've got a new focus with the city of Yuba City and what they're going to try to do to kind of take the next step in their evolution, which I would pay close attention to that, Robert Bendorf and Mayor Boomgarden, and see how that's all going to progress, because that could be another catalyst. Obviously, if you've been out to the Hard Rock yet, the Hard Rock development, yeah, I mean, it's spectacular, and it's got national accolades for the experience that they provide. You know, the concert venue inside the Hard Rock live venues ranked #1 by many publications for sound and ambiance, and it is phenomenal in there.
I know from running my last publication that it's considered one of the best venues for live music in the whole region now.
In the whole country.
Yeah.
Fortune ranked it #1 at one point. So, interestingly, I'm so bummed because I was down in Southern California for my wine auction. I'll touch on that in a little bit, but
Danny.
and I know I forgot Danny this time. Next time. We've had Danny perform so many times. She's so awesome. But I missed Atlanta Rhythm Section this weekend.
Oh.
ARS.
Wow.
They are so good. People forget how good that band was in the 70s, before you were born, Scott, way before you were born.
I was here in the 70s.
But they had 3 great shows this weekend at Hard Rock. And Nate Smith coming up in April. You got to get your tickets to Nate from Paradise. Wrote the song famously about Paradise after the fires, and then his career took off like crazy when Sony signed him about a year and a half later. He headlined the event here for me a few years ago, and he played also at Hard Rock a few years ago on the small stage. Now he's on the big stage, and it will be a sellout. You want to get your tickets to that. Nate Smith, he's the only gentleman in his first album. He had 3 #1s. George Strait didn't have 3 #1s. Garth didn't have 3 #1s. Nate had 3 #1s in country music. So, yeah, he's a really great person and a great performer. Great story overall. So, and they lost their home in Paradise, which is why he wrote that particular song. But he wrote with Florida Georgia Line, a bunch of other folks back in Nashville before he made it as a solo artist. That'll be good. And then Tyler Rich just got back. Our theme song for the show is California Grown, and that's Tyler Rich, Local Boy Makes Goodies. Country music star. He just played in Berlin and London. Now he's playing in Canada on his way back to a big U.S. tour this year. And that's going to be fun. It kicks off in Florida in a couple weeks. So after his gig up in Canada. So we got a lot of music here. In fact, I was at Hooligans yesterday. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I forgot to wear my green today. I did have it on yesterday because that was St. Patrick's Day. And I'll tell you that whole Plumas Street vibe, and with Hooligans, obviously with an Irish from Dublin owner, they had some great music and food, green beer, all that. Did you partake in any green festivities yesterday, Chuck?
No. I was trying to finish up some responsibilities at the Pill Democrat, specifically Prospect Magazine, which is coming up. So no, I didn't get out. We wait a minute. We made it to Buffalo Wild Wings yesterday.
That's not exactly
Irish.
corned beef and cabbage.
We were nearby. We were nearby.
I see your Irish roots are really straining your choices this week.
I stopped wearing green on St. Patrick's Day years ago.
Yes, I know he's half Italian. Oh, yes. I've had dinner with Chuck. No question. I know. So, and then I did on my sojourn there last week. Sorry I couldn't be here last week. And Bob's on. We gave Bob a timeout today, right? He's Mr. Fischetti.
No, he's in the timeout room over there. He's,
good.
Yeah, no, I mean.
So we don't have to put up with Bob today.
It's where if you misbehave on the radio, you just to the timeout room.
Yes, timeout room. So I headed south. I had to go to a funeral in San Francisco last Friday. I'll bore everybody with this. It was 80 degrees the next day in San Francisco, which they die there because there's very little. If you have a home there, little air conditioning. I think it's going to be 85 there today, which is nuts. But I stopped by West Valley on the way down, West Valley Community College, because the Yuba College 49ers were playing in the state tournament trying to get to that Elite Eight. Unfortunately, they lost the game, but it was a phenomenal game. And Yuba had a great year, great group of kids. I think it's the highest GP in the nation for a junior college basketball team, too. Wow. Really good students. And the cover story, that picture of Coach Korn with his son, Cooper, there with a hug at the end of the game with the ex-Marysville High School coach for many years, Coach Ken Griffin, who's in the Yuba College Hall of Fame as a player and been an assistant for Doug for 20-plus years now. But that's a great shot. And I sent that into your wonderful sports editor, Jeff Larson, from there. And I thought it was great to use that picture. So, and I think actually...
was that your photo?
Yes, I sent that in.
Great shot.
It is a great shot. Yeah, and that just says it all, man. That's kind of cool. So A lot of soul in that photo. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, the state champions,
Yeah, they
Faith
did
Christian girls.
Yeah,
I mean, they jumped from Division 6 to Division 4 in one season, and they beat a pretty good team from the Palisades. That team was really good.
Did you see the near three-quarter shot?
Yeah, crazy.
Lauren Harris just throws it up and it goes in.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Lauren Harris I think she's moving on to play at Long Beach State.
She needs to come back and do one of those halftime things where they give away cash. I think if you sink a halftime shot during the game. I mean,
Yep. And she is third leading scorer all time for high school basketball players in California. That's pretty huge.
it's been a great run. We'll see
Yeah, I know those runs. They're too much fun. So what else has been going on, Chuck? This past week, Yuba-Sutter, a lot of celebrations for St. Pat's. Love to see that.
Well, there's just I haven't been involved in anything other than helping a little bit with the transition at the Appeal Democrat. So
everybody's gearing up for Buckeye.
Talk about Buckeye. Yeah. That's coming up when? Next weekend?
No, this weekend.
It's this weekend. Okay.
Yeah, it's this weekend.
Yeah. Don't get old, Scott. When you travel and get old, you forget it. That's right. That's this weekend. So that kicks off, and the parade starts when? Do we know?
It's always at 11.
11 o'clock. Okay. Right on D Street.
Yeah. There's an event the evening before, which is when they introduce the Buckeye host or hostess. I think it's a host this year. And they have the lion dancers. That dinner's at the new venue, the Marysville Banquet Hall, they call it. Yeah. Was St. John's
oh, really?
Episcopal Church, yeah.
And, I hadn't heard that.
Oh yeah, no. It opened up about 4 or 5 months ago as an event center.
Okay, so now we have 530 Center. In fact, tomorrow night is James Gallagher's big event, the big annual St. Patty's Day sold out. Do you know a bagpiper, Kurt, that might be playing at that?
I think so. I think I've run across them.
Yeah. Does that bagpiper have an Irish kilt instead of a Scottish kilt?
I have an Irish tie.
Okay, close enough.
In fact, I did my part for the Sons of Aaron this week. I was on Channel 40 for
I saw it
with Polly.
You did a great job on Fox 40 out of Sacramento. Yeah.
Then I was in the St. Patrick's Day parade on Saturday in Old Sacramento. Then that night I came back into Hooligans, and then last night I was there for a couple 3 hours.
I saw the video. That was good.
And they were really nice, and the patrons there, they just gave me the resounding applauses, so I really appreciate it.
Did they give you any cash? Did you get any tips?
I think I found something on the floor.
Well, they were pouring the green beers.
My appreciation to Hooligans for letting me.
Yeah, Paulie's done a really nice job there with the remodel.
Kurt, it sounds like you need to get out more often.
Not right now. I've been out as much as I want to be right now, but I will be there tomorrow night.
It's going to be fun. That'll be a good time. We'll have to get Scott maybe over there. You can meet a bunch of people. That'll be really good. So that's at the 530 Center tomorrow night. It's a sold out event. I'll talk to you after the show. We'll try to get you in there so you can meet some people. That's gonna be a big night, really fun night. So what else is going on? What else do you have plans with the Appeal Democrat? What do you think? What do you want to do with the paper?
Well, we want to.
Obviously, you're a big upgrade from the previous editor. I've already said that once. Yeah.
We're gonna try to have as many conversations as we can in the community to get feedback. But I think generally, what the publisher and I want to do is keep the things that people love about it and expand coverage in new directions, but always locally focused, regionally focused. So we're right in the process of onboarding 2 new reporters. So there'll be kind of a new news team entirely, but still working with Jeff Larson, the great sports editor, and our reporter Jerry, that's up in the north area. And we'll have Chuck as a resource. He's going to be a contributing writer. He'll be advising me and things like that.
Oh yeah, he'll keep you on the straight and narrow. He knows. The thing about Chuck Smith is he knows where all the bodies are buried, including the ones in this building and all the way back into the.
We were talking
1800s.
about the elevator ride.
Yes, it's a deadly experience there for sure. Well, with what you pointed out and you picked up and your story today on the cover of the. By the way, nice colors up top there for the Appeal Democrat today. Report finds strong economic growth in Yuba-Sutter and Sutter-Yuba continued challenges, but your point about taking the paper to another level as well. I think we're on an island, and I always tell people this, and the Yuba-Sutter area, Yuba-Sutter-Colusa area, is kind of an island in many ways in California. And it's finally, the economics are starting to really get positive here over the last few years. You can feel the dynamics with everything that the water agency was able to support, and they'll be back doing that. And then when you look at what Hard Rock, how successful, because they've blown every pro forma they had away there. In fact, the merchant store in there is one of their top sellers in the entire chain of Hard Rocks. In fact, it was number one for a while in gross sales, which is crazy. And everybody that comes to that place has a great experience. And kind of like Yuba-Sutter in the vision here, this is a place that's still affordable to invest in, and you can take a business and really do some exciting things here. And a lot of people with the housing element that's going to take place over the next 10 years, it's going to be extraordinary.
Yeah, based on what that report said, there's a lot of major employers that are looking at the area that are interested in moving in. Some are only waiting on a little more infrastructure to come in, and workforce, right? But it's right on the cusp, it sounds like, from that report, to having a lot of new major employers come in because there's interest. It's
absolutely.
well documented.
Well, and the quality of life is so good. You know, driving, you forget how much traffic there is in the state of California, but driving through the Bay Area last weekend and then driving all the way down 101. 101 is not bad. Between Carmel and Santa Barbara is actually pretty good. When you get into Santa Barbara, it gets stupid. Obviously, when you get into LA, it gets ridiculous. And I came back also that direction. Normally you drive 5, but I wanted to see the coast again. I can't do the 10-hour, 9-hour drives anymore. I got to break it up. But it was some beautiful. It was just gorgeous. But we have space here. You don't end up in those crazy traffic jams here, even though we have traffic from time to time. It's so manageable, and when you get used to having space, it's a remarkable place to live here. We have the quality of life, and Chuck knows he's lived here all his life.
If you can't get over the bridge between Marysville and Yuba City in 5 minutes, you whine and whine and whine and whine and whine and whine. Might as well be on Facebook making stupid comments.
I love that. So, what else can we expect? Are you going to do your own column weekly? Are you going to?
He wrote an editorial before he even hit the front door.
I wrote an editorial last week just addressing an issue that's been causing a lot of arguments in newsrooms all over the country, and that is the role of AI in journalism. So I wrote an editorial for my second day here, just trying to clarify for the local readers how I feel about that, where I stand on it. Also, just letting them know, because I think a lot of people don't know that there's reporters and editors and their management are at each other's throats at different publications all over the country because of this. So, that's something I will be writing some editorials. I'll be doing some reporting because I have a lot of experience in certain kinds of reporting, and I want to augment what the 2 full-time reporters are doing so we can have as much local journalism across the week as we can manage, right?
So community papers, I mean, papers the size of the Appeal Democrat, I mean, they're having struggles all over the country. It's not it's a change in the way people find their news, right? With these devices and with the internet. Are you going to expand your electronic version of the paper? Do anything different there?
Well, we want to get, first and foremost, we want to get more stories up on the website. And that won't take away from the paper product. That won't take away from what the subscribers are getting, because we have room, and with having the luxury of being a daily paper, we will have a news hole for all of that.
Right.
We just want to get more onto the website. We want to be in a position to break stories online as quick as we can, especially stories that are urgent and that people have a lot of questions about or consternation about. We want to try to get up as much verified, solid information to the public as we can. So we want to do more in that direction. But we're, like I said, we're still getting the team together. So I think once everybody's here, and we can have more conversations with the publisher and also more conversations with the community to get feedback about what people are looking for.
Yeah, well, I think so. I mean, again, the newspaper industry has changed dramatically because people aren't I had. In fact, it's funny. I was at the funeral was at my old church in San Francisco, St. Anne's, and I used to do a Sunday. I know it only had a San Francisco Progress route, San Francisco Bulletin, San Francisco Chronicle, San Francisco Chronicle Sunday Examiner, and then the corner. They used to have corners where you'd have it at certain locations in the city on Sunday mornings, and one of them was at our church. You'd be selling the paper, so you'd get 10 cents for every paper you sold. You'd sit there with the stack of Chronicles. People get their paper as they came out of church. They'd buy their paper from you, and then. But yeah, I mean, those days of everybody having that newspaper and all the black ink, whether you're delivering it as a newspaper boy or reading it, those days that's changed dramatically. In fact, I just look. All I do is read mine online because I don't want to.
Yeah.
But there are still people that really like the print products. I can tell you, having been at a publication that went from print to all digital, which was Sacramento News and Review and Chico News and Review, both made that change in
but
the last.
They made that for financial reasons, right? I mean, it's just cost so much to distribute.
But yes, a lot of it had to do with supply chain issues after the pandemic that were driving the cost of transportation and production up so high. But anyway, my point was, as soon as the print editions were gone, even though we had brand new websites that were gorgeous looking and user friendly on any device, even though we had all that, everywhere I went in Sacramento, people were like, when's the print coming back?
Interesting.
And we held, at that job, myself and that publisher held listening sessions with the business community and the public all over the city over a couple years, along with a couple other publishers. And we would get that question every single time. In fact, I almost couldn't go anywhere in Sacramento, tell them who I was without somebody going, is that ever coming back, or when's that coming back? So people do like print products. It's just that the business dynamics have changed a lot with the arrival of smartphones.
So is it still just electronic now? The news and reviews?
Yeah,
interesting.
Yeah, it's still just electronic. Yeah,
I mean, you go through Chico and any restaurant you'd be sitting. I mean, you go out or any business that you'd have a stack of news and reviews there. People would be grabbing. So, yeah, that's.
I mentioned before that when I went to one of the High Wheeler games last year, ran into a reporter who works for
the Freebirds.
And Oakland.
You mean the Freebirds?
Well, that's this year.
Thank you.
They were High Wheelers last year,
Yes,
so it was a High Wheelers. I ran into a reporter.
You always got a fact check. See, you always got a fact. He did.
From an Oakland publication, and it's he was surprised that Marysville still had a print newspaper, because there's not a print newspaper.
Oakland Tribune's gone.
Not a daily.
Well, the East Bay Times is still there.
Is that a weekly?
No, I think it's a daily. I think the East Bay Times is a daily. I could be wrong.
According to this guy, there's not a daily newspaper in Oakland. So
well, I'm not sure. Maybe he's saying a specific to Oakland, but the East Bay Times, which used to be Valley Times, used to be Valley Herald. Look that up, Chuck.
Is this the Castro Valley or something?
No, I think it was out of Walnut Creek is where they were I'm not
so
sure.
there isn't a daily newspaper published in Oakland.
No, there's not published,
okay.
But I think they try to incorporate Oakland in their market. I'm not sure.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, my point is that that's a major market, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And so they've all gone digital.
Well, the Chronicle has struggled.
Yeah.
So they've had major upheaval there too.
But what's going to happen one day when if all the newspapers disappear is you're going to turn on your phone and not find any news because you need reporters to write.
Correct.
And there's fewer and fewer reporters.
Well, I think there's cycles that take place. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, California Post came into California and it's ripping subscriptions, so online. And that was the New York Post version of the California version of the New York Post, and it's actually financially beaten all its projections so far. So, and they have a lot of reporters, but that's a national kind of a publication that's kind of regionalized, I guess. But so, yeah, I mean, I think the shaking out is still occurring in the newspaper business. But to your point, when you were talking about the fact that there's no print editions of SAC News and Review and Chico News and Review, it'd be curious to see if that would ever come back. If an investor wanted to take a shot at bringing back, because I remember, I mean, getting the Chico News and Review was a big deal. Even up till a few years ago, it was still, if you went through town, you want to know what was going on in Chico, you grabbed the Chico News and Review.
Yeah. And that company didn't own its own printing press. That's really
correct.
important.
Correct.
we're
Very lucky.
super lucky that we have a huge, commercial printing press.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If people haven't seen it, it's incredible. It's got to be bigger than the one in Auburn, right?
I haven't seen the one in Auburn.
Yeah, but I had worked for, well, it's kind of full circle. I worked for the company that owned the Auburn Journal years ago, and now we have the same parent company now that I'm here.
Right, yeah.
So it's kind of like, in a way, almost working there again. But yeah, there is a sizable printing press in Auburn too for the Auburn Journal and all its associated papers in Placer County and Folsom.
Yeah.
But after having seen the one here in Marysville, I've never seen one that big before myself.
Yeah.
So I think it's bigger. Yeah.
Interesting.
We publish 7 different newspapers.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Oh,
So
yeah, no.
It's one of, and there are fewer and fewer of these web presses around.
I know.
So.
It's crazy. Do you have something you want to say at the top of the hour there, Mr. Baird?
Yes. Excuse me. You are listening to 93.3 FM KETQ, Yuba City.
Very good. Well done.
And we're in Marysville right now. But
We are in Marysville.
Well, yeah, technically.
Yeah, it's another one of those strange things.
I do want to throw out a thanks to my old employers here at Central Credit Union. They were one of the big sponsors for our wine auction. So 21st year, and obviously Danny's performed there many times. But we had 600 people there this year. We raised $2.5 million for the 11 children's hospitals, 9 in California, 2 in Nevada. And it's the CMN Credit Union for Kids annual auction event. And it was extraordinary. Really, really great cause, great people willing to pony up. And yeah, it's a lot of money to net from an event for one day.
It's too bad we didn't remember Danny.
We'll-
didn't remember Danny.
We'll get Danny
My
back there.
daughter.
Danny has sung at that event many times.
Yeah.
She is awesome. All right. Anything else you want to, Scott, you want to bring to the table?
Well, I'm just curious for feedback from not just you, but just anybody. Like I said, I'm a lot of mornings I'm in the brick early writing. If anybody wants to stop by,
Great
introduce
spot.
themselves, and just give me some feedback or story ideas or just some general input.
So do we
on-
look for the Man in Black, the Johnny Cash look at all times in the brick in the morning, or do we wear a T-shirt?
I did live in Folsom for many years, so
It's been a consistent look since he's arrived. But
He's a newspaper guy,
but
absolutely.
it may be that it just hasn't gotten that to the cleaner, and there's another. No.
Well, anytime I've been every paper I've been an editor at and a news director at, every news team I've led, I've always still also been a reporter, and primarily a crime and investigations reporter, going to court, going to trials, going to preliminary
You poor
hearings.
thing.
So I just developed this look being in the orbit of tragedy all the time.
Yeah,
So
got it. Well, being in a courtroom is no fun. I don't care what side of the ledger you're on. That's just a dynamic. As you know, that's a crazy place. Crazy stuff happens in court.
I covered Yuba County Superior Court Law and Motion Day.
Yeah, you did.
And I think there was one day, one judge, he had missed, he was sick the week before, so they postponed all the sentencings. He wound up sentencing 22 people to state prison in one day. And that was back.
That's got to be a record.
Well, that's what I thought. Yuba County at the
22
time.
people in one day?
Yuba County was this, yeah.
Wow.
Yuba County at that point had the highest per capita prison commitment rate in all of California. There was something like one sentencing a year for every 500 residents, and the average was one for every 1,200 residents.
Wow.
Yeah. So, so that was an orbit of tragedy. And the thing was, a lot of times, about 1 in 3 people, I knew them or I knew their family. And for a lot of them, I was the only person they knew as they were getting walked out of the courtroom headed
Wow.
to state prison.
Wow.
It was a weird
You
thing.
stayed out of the prison thing. Yeah.
Well, I didn't like the stories. I don't like the stories that come out of there. Things that can happen.
And then
that scared straight thing that they do.
that will scare you straight.
They didn't have to do it with me. I saw it on TV.
Exactly.
No. I don't want to go to prison.
No, you don't want to go to prison.
Maybe I better.
You remember Judge Tim Evans when he chased the? I guess he sentenced somebody. The guy ran out of the courtroom. He chased him and tackled him and rolled down the hill into the river there behind the courthouse in Sutter County.
I remember something vaguely about that. Yeah.
Stuff happens.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been the Wednesday edition, the radio edition of the Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts. Love the new graphics. Who did those, Kurt?
That was Kayla Webb.
Oh, Kayla Webb. Yeah, of course.
And she does a lot of creative work.
Oh, she's incredible. Yeah. And that's really nice. Nice graphics there. I'm glad that's up, and I'm glad we could introduce it without Bob Fischetti being here. So much better without Bob. So we'll see Bob next week. Scott, welcome to Yuba-Sutter and Calusa, and we're looking forward to the next iteration of the Appeal Democrat. Chuck has done a phenomenal job at that paper on and off for 50 years now.
Well, you're talking about
your career.
My previous.
Yeah, and without Chuck, that probably wouldn't have survived.
I doubt that. I think that it would have. I think it's hubris to think that one person comes in and does anything.
You're one of the links, man. Well done. Good job. Thank you for all you do and have done for this community, and keep doing it. You are a rock star. So.
I hope to continue putting a little history in that paper as a contributing writer.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yuba-Sutter's better off for having you here, so big time. So, and thanks again, Scott, for coming in. We'll have you on numerous times. We'll abuse you here if you're available, and look forward to you meeting Bob Fischetti, the Everything Tower Media.
He did last week.
I met Bob last week.
On the air, though. I want to see how he and Bob interact.
Well, you can go and watch last week's show.
I will. I didn't have time to do that.
Well, you need to catch up, John.
I did call in on the music show with Brian, though. That was good. Yeah.
Because Scott was sitting in your chair last week.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is your second time on.
Yes.
Yeah. He was reintroduced today.
And my second week here in the city.
I love it. That's great. All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining us today. This has been Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts,
the radio version.
Radio version. Don't miss the Weekender edition every Saturday. The Rough Notes and Casual Thoughts in writing. And thanks for joining us today. We'll see you again next time.